It's about to begin. Hugo Calderano with the serves.
Oh.
Sneaky backhand inside the table, just pulls the wrist back. Good touch play to set it up too.
Nice placement, nice arc on the backhand winner. Opted for placement over power.
Right into the middle. Dima's a taller guy, but this is the tactics even Dima's teammate, web coach MD Timo Boll, will talk about, attacking right into that crossover point.
I think a lot of these fans might be seeing Dima and Hugo for the first time here. They're like, oh my God, it's the trademark serve.
Right, every time Ding Ning used to squat. Oh, and Hugo getting low. I think they like that too. We'll have plenty of shots of Hugo just sort of like a kid trying to peek over a neighbor's fence. That's how he treats the net on the receive. Prepare yourself, 2 points from now, you'll have a chance to see that curious neighbor on the receive. And a tight serve here right near the baseline. Good start here for the player who's 0-3 against Dima, the two-time Olympic bronze medalist. To a non-Chinese player, that's like a gold medal at the Olympics.
Over the duration of 12 years as well. From London 2012 through to Tokyo 2020.
Where'd you get 12 from?
Well, I guess I'm thinking 3 Olympic cycles, but actually it's not 12 years.
Good times, good times. I had my good old TI-82 next to me when you said that, so. Thank you, yeah, that's right. It's connecting through my modem. Here we go, Dima serving down 1-5 out of the first towel break. Service warning, get ready. Dipping below the table. Not high enough.
1-5.
I don't know if you were clear on that. Normally, there are 2 different calls that could be. 1, the toss isn't high enough. 2, the ball. I think that's what it would be. Now, just to clarify, the measurement of the ball must be 16 centimeters from the time it leaves the hand. Ding Ning was called for this at the Olympics, and one of the most heartbreaking, it was just sad to see her suffering in that way.
1-6.
And a second point here for Dima. So good scoreline here. Calderano up by 4. One big shot from Calderano, and it comes right back. 2 big backhands here in terms of players outside of Asia. We saw Hugo Calderano beating the world #1 with that powerful shot, but just redirecting traffic there. It's the high racket of Dima.
It's one of the best backhands of this generation. I think you could say the same for Hugo as well.
Outstanding play, and it doesn't miss by a lot there. That last ball almost comes down on the edge.
As magnificent as those attacks were, I was kind of taken aback to see Dima blocking in that way.
I couldn't believe he had to hold his racket so high and just quickly center. I mean, those shots were ripping and roaring with power from Hugo Calderano. Nice counter here. The backhand of Dima has been dangerous for a good, well, I don't know, it's been about a decade now that he's been beating some of the best in the world with that backhand. Had a winning percentage in Chinese Super League over 3 years. Yeah. That's pretty crazy when you think about it. Not so many players outside of China get to play the Chinese Super League, and having a winning record, it's impressive.
Thinking of Timo as well. I think Jun Young Sik was there.
Yep.
Name any others?
Sure, Lin Min Ru, Ju Se Hyuk.
Nice.
Thanks. That's on the men's side. Ariel Xing, Lily Zhang, Zheng Yijing, Adriana Diaz. They've been their fair share. So Calderano only up by 2 here. Dima making his way back in.
Good placement.
Yeah, exactly. When you see Dima pull that right leg behind, you know he's put in an uncomfortable position.
Such a unique wrist when he plays that. Sometimes he'll even do a backhand touch from the forehand side. Dima.
Nice length on the serve, half long, a bit out to the forehand side. Just something uncomfortable, picking his place on the table to keep Dima challenged on the receive. And a strong backhand opening sets up 5 game points for the player who has never beaten Dima in his history, with 3 encounters coming up here. His 4th today. Taking care of business. He has closed the door on game 1. Signature backhand serve there. And as clean as can be on the forehand side. Hugo Calderano steamrolling through the first. Enjoy the show. We're going to have a... Oh, the crowd loves it. So back for game 2. Hugo with a fresh shirt. The crowd could probably use a little bit of drying off themselves after watching Hugo change his shirts there.
Yeah, for sure. Put me on that list.
You are sweating, wow.
Yeah, man. It's intense.
Motivating, if nothing else.
Yeah, definitely.
So back for game 2. Dima with the serves to start.
He's coming for blood, isn't he, Hugo? I mean, this season there's something about him that's changed in intensity.
Tunisia last year, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
But this is the thing, the steal the bacon factor. Both really want something that only one can have. There's not enough win to share by the end of this match. That would be funny, though. I mean, in the Olympics, I think there have been cases where someone says we opt to share the gold medal. What if someone's like, we opt to share the spot in the quarterfinals? 2 of us move on through. We agree. Wouldn't be great to watch. This is much better.
Be funny to watch, I guess.
Shocking. I'm curious to see the serve success of these two. It'd be cool. Hey, Hugo Calderano, 90% of his serves have been converted to points. Dima, still more than half, better than most. But dominant with the serve, Hugo Calderano. The interesting thing about that statistic is it's not necessarily a serve winning the point outright. It's simply, when they serve, how do they fare in the end? Do they end up winning the point? Calderano, at that stats time, 90%.
And that shows you how well they're setting him up. It's a high toss serve. He's one of the highest tossers in the men's game.
Yeah, we don't see too many others doing it. In the women's game, it seems a little bit more common. A few come to mind that are here.
Yeah, Yuan Jianan and
Shan Xiaona.
Yeah.
Oh, 3, there you go.
Yeah.
Generational thing, I guess.
Could be.
They're all similar generation from China before relocating. And a timeout early on. Well, Dima. Interesting. I mean, I didn't see it, but you just have to imagine with the score line right now that it is Dima. What an unusual time for a timeout.
Well, I guess this could be a huge difference. If he wins this point here, or just levels it at 4-all, for example, then he can come on up and level at 1-all. And it's slipping through his fingers. It's only a best-of-5 match. Doesn't want to go 2-0 down and have to win the next 3 games. Rossi Roskopf in the corner, a former men's world doubles champion.
Yeah, he still trains. He's in the practice hall. I mean, he's been running for years. You can see him at this, you know, at the hotel in the lobby, running for miles with everyone else. He's in outstanding shape still. I think this is one way, you know, to keep your youth, is to make sure that you keep your metabolism high. And yeah, your ability for your heart to be working out regularly, and he's in great shape. That said, Dima here, I think, calls this timeout because he realizes there's something missing. He's just not getting into the point. The plans that he has are not working at this moment, so he needs a little reassurance, a little discussion, and to come to the table with belief and a clear sense of some answers. But Hugo's got a better answer there. The opening spin comes in and the parallel backhand right back.
Great year so far, Hugo. He won the first 2 contenders of 2023.
Well, that was an incredibly difficult ball. Slow, spinny, and shallow.
To come in over that is something not a lot can do. Because, I mean, it even was arcing a lot.
I think that's why we heard that roar of satisfaction from him. He knew it wasn't an easy ball to play, took a chance.
Just getting in so early. I mean, we know Dima is one of the most suffocating servers.
And 12 of the last 16 points to Hugo Calderano. That receive, did you see how open the face of his racket was? Watch one more time. Hugo Calderano really more than 45 degrees open to keep that ball out of the net. Touched it just right for the short shot. Now remember, this is the game where Dima called the timeout and the next 4 points have been won by Hugo. Good spin here. Dima with the first point in a long time.
Sometimes you need a really deep incentive to win. I mean, Hugo is, when I refer to that reset button, he's pressed it. He's already achieved more than any South American player has before, but he wants more. It's not enough for him.
This is the thing, this conversation about satisfied. What does it mean to be satisfied? You can celebrate your victories, you can be happy with what you've accomplished, but does that mean you wake up with nothing left to live for?
This is the thing. I think Hugo's looking far into his future, thinking, what will I look back, thinking of myself as?
Beautiful flick here in the middle. Now this is the thing, we still see Ma Long playing right now.
Yeah.
There's always room for improvement. And it's a fine balance here, but in this competitive sport, a lot of competitive personalities out here on the table, and the nice touch shot here from Dima.
Well, if you're looking at potential, with his shot selection, the sky is literally the limit for Hugo. It's just how he puts it all together that is missing sometimes, but it looks very, very good here.
Literally, huh?
Indeed.
9-6.
Interesting. Well, 3 points between them now. Dima making, what, 3 in a row? It's the type of time you might see a timeout from Hugo, but he's got the serves. I think he's going to see if he can save it. Dima's been very good in the deep parts of the match. One in the decider in the last round.
Left. 9-6.
I mean, after what, the first 3 days, I think we had 11 deciders already. Maybe that was the first 2. Slow, spinny, awkward, the side spin here. And now the serves back to Dima. And Hugo calls the timeout. The 2-point differential, a little bit too close for comfort. What changes have you seen from Dima that have got him the last 4 points?
Slowing down the pace. I mean, you think of Dima as just a massive, powerful force. He's a drilled player. Certain players have a kind of natural feel to them, but that's not the case with Dima. He's out and out attack, and he likes to get in with his big, powerful shots, but he's slowing things down here, and I think it's threw Hugo off.
So, why was excuse me, why was 5 afraid of 6? Because 6, 7, 8, all eliminated. It's a classic. Ask your dads about it. They used anyway. The top 5 still left. Fan Zhendong, the leader of the world of table tennis, followed by Lionheart, Tomokazu Harimoto, Ma Long, the GOAT, and Hugo Calderano. He is the lowest of the seeds, still surviving. In a little bit of trouble here, a little bit of pressure. Let's see how he handles. It's funny, Time Calderano, I think one of his fan sites on Instagram. So is this Time Calderano? It was just called. Time will tell. Wow, these wide angles, where to go. This is one of those things where you see people on the internet saying, why didn't he just play it to the other side of the table? The answer is, it's not easy at all. Almost nothing to work with. 3 game points now for Calderano, and the only one he needs is that receive there. The timeout has been cashed in. So, Hugo Calderano, the thrill from Brazil, with 2 games on the scoreboard now and not a game against him. He has never before beaten Dima Ovtcharov, but right now on his own out here. The world number 6 is going to get the crowd going. Don't forget to eat healthy, do your crunches. The French camp there watching on like, okay, we'll do it. Wow, some serious tape on the neck here for the Pride of Puerto Rico. Curious to know what happened. Sometimes you just sleep in a funny way. 8 hours in any position can leave you waking up, but enough speculation. She'll be outstanding to watch as always. Adriana Diaz will be battling against Wang Yidi, the world number 3. So the Pride of Puerto Rico and China's number 3, the world's number 3. That women's singles round of 16 is coming up right after this match. But still, we've got at least 1 game to look forward to. It's either going to be history created here, or in the next 2 games, we will find out the winner. 2 games following that anyway. But enough numbers. I'm curious, Dima has this incredible will to win. We've seen him at the Olympic Games and other events come back from really close to losses.
I mean, on his day, he's arguably the strongest player in the world mentally. We've seen him win the World Cup. We've seen him win the China Open from match points down against Timo. We've seen him claw wins. I mean, his success rate in the 7th or deciding 5th game is amazing.
Yeah, that one against Timo, I think he was down 6-10 in the decider.
Yeah, like 6 or 7 in the 7th.
So first point, Calderano doing his ritual before the serve. The long serve and that backhand down the line. I mean, how many times have we seen it now? It's a float serve, almost no rotation, and then a little bit of side on that backhand with the topspin down the line. What's it going to take from Dima? What does he have to do now?
He has to try and just completely try and change the rhythm. Because right now, Hugo is dictating pace. Let's see. Maybe a wider serve from Dima.
Oh, the top of the net still in. It's weird for that camera angle. It was a little tough to see if you could have reached it or not. You just have to imagine not, but we'll see it here perfectly. Shallow as can be, wide. Wow, quite a shot.
I mean, when you think Hugo, you think his rallies with Simon Gauzy, training with the French player. Just, that's his bread and butter, the loop-to-loop game. So how do you stop him from doing that? That's the answer.
Well, good break of momentum after Hugo Calderano had just won 6 of the last 8 points coming into this. Long serve and a good response. Interesting.
Better.
Yeah, for me, what I think is, for Dima, it's going to be partially a question of the quality of the first attack, but it's that extra 10%. It's really not lukewarm starting a rally. Calderano's been too comfortable. Now, the first 2 shots are going to be the most important for sort of getting into the point. For Dima, if he does go for the attack, it's going to have to be as aggressive as possible, as spinny or uncomfortable as possible. That said, he pulls out a parallel heavy spin shot here. It seems like he does everything right. And teammate there, Bruna Takahashi. Oh, busted, so busted. I love it. Man. She'll be cheering on one of these 2 players, the one who was just peeking over the net. It's funny, one of the most viral clips, a meme from the Olympic Games, was Dima when he gets low for the backhand serve and Calderano when he gets low on the receive. It almost looked like two 6-year-olds standing on a box playing table tennis.
Continue to play. 5-3.
It all depends what comes from the serve, but maybe Dima can try and tie Hugo up with a touch play, wait for a long ball and then get in first.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think there are a lot of different options. It might seem like there are none. Hugo Calderano's definitely made it an incredibly tough day at work for Dima. And one more follow these serves. I mean, he's just getting the third balls in incredible fashion here. And that's not, I mean, it's not the ideal receive, but it's still not as easy as Hugo makes it look. Following it well. And perfectly half long on that touch shot. Shuts down Dima's third ball.
Before this match, I had to nip to the bathroom, and I bumped into Hugo. Nearly actually opened the door in his face by accident, but I mean, usually we have a nice hello, how are you kind of thing, but he looked like he was on a mission here, and there was something about him. It was kind of sinister. It was like he was possessed by his ambition to win this match.
Don't clean with your powers. Thank you.
So Dima warned there not to clean the table with this towel. Yeah, in terms of that level of focus, you can feel like you're friends with a lot of these people, but right before they go in for battle, I mean, it's not the time, so don't take it personally.
Oh no, definitely wouldn't. I completely understand.
You sound a little bit hurt, but no, I'm just kidding. So 9 serving 4. The focus has been paying off right now as Hugo Calderano just drills it into that elbow.
Yeah, that one hurts.
Maybe you were the motivation. Maybe because you opened the door nearly in his face, he's like, man, I got to come out here. I can't let anybody boss me around in the bathroom or on the table. And now he's got 6 match points for his first ever victory against Dima. But the heavy spin comes back.
5-10.
One saved, a long way to go.
This one is going to feel especially nice for Hugo. This was the man that denied him a shot at least a bronze medal at the Olympics. Well,
trying to stay cool here. Hugo Calderano. Still 4 match points left. He's got 2 serves if he needs the second one. Dima ready with that forehand rip, just waiting for the serve to come long. He's down. He won't play afraid. Second bounce on the table, perfectly half long. The bat breaker in England, the finger breaker in some parts of the world. Wow.
Universally dangerous, no matter what you call it.
The safe receive serve. Here we go, 10 serving 7. Does not want to pass the serves over to Dima now. And Dima fights his way back to earn 2 serves if he can get through the first. The third towel break, 4 in a row. Fans capturing these tense moments here, either on camera or in the brain. Spins deep to the middle. Dima. It is a long, dark road, but he's come this far. Can he just take one step farther? 6 of the last 8 points to Dima. And he ties it up. He ties it up here. A lifeline. Remember, never in history has Hugo beaten Dima internationally. Wow, stress here. Look at the face change from Bruna Takahashi.
If you ever watch a movie, the hero always has a slow start and has to overcome the toughest of obstacles.
Well, we've heard the prediction here. Deuce alternating serves. Slow spinny down the middle. Another match point for Hugo Calderano. No relief yet. Dima continuing to fight a steel trap for a brain. I mean, he is as tough as they come under pressure. Of course, he's suffered his losses, but this is what? 7 match points saved. Back to Deuce, back to Calderano. No, he did not. To get passive, allow the first attack and win it from behind the table in a moment like this. Guts for days. Dima slapped back to baseline with side and topspin for the kick. And now he's got a game point and a serve to go with it. Oh, it is so tough to get around. A long way to go for that forehand. Diaz is the family here watching. Adriana and Blotti, just amazing this battle.
Where else would you rather be right now than witnessing this level of suspension, being a part of this duel that has somehow been extended to a whole new chapter, even though it's the same blooming game?
There's nowhere else to be right now. If you're here, you need no fear of missing out, because you are not. No better place to be. Deuce again, 3rd time over in game number 3. Beautiful backhand inside the table. Dima pulling off some shots that are just unbelievable, but as long as they're keeping score, it's not too late.
Good point. He's proven that. That was almost dismissive.
Game point once again for Dima. Calderano turns up the heat on the backhand receive. In the last several points, I feel like the server hasn't had quite the advantage that maybe statistically they would have throughout this match.
Dima looks like he's been trying to touch short quite a bit more often, but it all depends on what Hugo puts on the serve. Will he make it flickable? Will he make it attackable?
And look at those percentage of serves have gone way down. Less than half for Dima. Big backhand to set up another match point. It's that 8th match point now for Hugo Calderano. Extra spin from Dima, the security on the forehand. This fight is getting so good, and look at the smiles where you can see him in the crowd.
That backhand there.
It's such an unnatural bend to have to turn your racket back like that.
Yeah. It's almost a shot from another sport, isn't it?
Does feel that way. 8 match points saved. Hugo Calderano, 5th deuce. And the flatter block from Dima, earning what, his 3rd game point?
Give me your pace, he says to Hugo.
Just gloves up high, absorbs it all, soaks it up, and sends it back. Game point, Dima. From 4-10 down, Dima extends his life in this match. Game number 3 surely looked like it would be over, and Dima survives. Game number 4, if it's anything like game number 3, we are going to be in for an exciting roller coaster ride here. So, score on screen dominated in the first 2, and 16-14 in game number 3. Germany's Dima is still alive. So it's only game number 4, but we are not going anywhere because it can't get more exciting than this. So in terms of this feeling of like you've been given a second chance, I think we've all had that one scare. Step out into the street, thought we had the right of way, and a bus passes by, and suddenly the rest of the day you feel like I'm going to make the most of this life. I think Dima's going to feel that way about this match after game number 3.
I honestly feel like after a comeback like that, there's no way that Hugo is in a favourable position mentally now coming into this fourth game over Dima.
And for a guy as brainy, smart, and incredible on the table as Hugo is, this will be really fascinating to watch for that reason. You're right, in terms of favorability, it's tough. He still has the lead. You call it the reset button. Anything he can do to play it like it's 0-0 every single point right now. And it comes back almost on the table, but as much power is there. Two players who are comfortable behind the table there, the LeBron brothers. But Dima's a tall guy with a lot of mass and a lot of power there on the shot.
Did he just twiddle before he played the smash?
Looked like he did. Might be using a tackier rubber on the forehand side. I know he's experimented with different setups over the years. Yep, he did twiddle.
2-1.
And if you're newer to table tennis, a lot of players, let's say on the Chinese national team, for example, play with a black, more tacky rubber on the forehand. It doesn't have to be black, it just tends to be, for that extra spin. And on the backhand side, the more springy rubber, so when the ball's really high, they don't need as much spin because they have such a good angle down at the table. That extra speed will help them finish the point, so they turn it around to play with the springier, softer, spinnier rubber. Oh, less spinny rubber. The faster rubber.
2-all.
Hugo has had some tough losses. It hasn't been an easy run on the way to the 6 wins that he's had. It's making me think back this to the World Championships where he was 3-0 up on Liang Jinquin. I mean, it's hard to tell which one would have more scar power.
I want to say Tomokazu Harimoto in Czech Republic years back as well. I mean, some heartbreaking matches, but this is the nature of sport. You can't win them all. You can get incredibly close. I mean, Lin Wenru at the Olympic Games, still a hero back home. But he's only getting better, right? He beat Ma Long just last week in Xinjiang. Good deep spin here. Dima clearly a bit disappointed. Remember, Hugo Calderano, as Chun Shing Tong is on screen there, acts like she's not. Tilts her head, list subtle, okay. See what you're doing there. You can't dodge us, you can't hide. Her teammate's gonna be up next. I like it. You wait long enough, that charm will come out. It's there. She's right there in the front row too. She'll be supporting Wang Yidi in the next round, or the next match to follow this, against Adriana Diaz.
I think Chen Xintong there is showing respect to this match. He's like, I shouldn't be the main focal point right here. This is amazing what we're seeing.
That is sort of part of the Chinese culture, I feel like, in general.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is very thoughtful, very community-based. I like that.
Looking down at the rubber. We know it gets a bit more moist in these stages of the day.
Yeah, it is exciting to watch. But what you're alluding to, I think, also they turn off the air conditioning to make sure it doesn't move the ball, so they get the room as cold as possible before the sessions start. And even in any individual match, the longer it goes on, the more sweaty and hot you get, the more the humidity affects your play, even at a personal level.
And that means that you have to adapt your style to some extent.
Yes, completely. Playing in incredible humidity means you basically have to play with a slightly flatter shot. You can't depend on the traction as much and that very sort of thin contact, the brushing contact that pulls the ball the way you're used to. 3 points in a row for Dima now. And this one is played perfectly. The drive, just the right balance there, and the placement just as well.
Really confident in his stroke there that he could put it away down the forehand of Dima.
5.
Sometimes when a player backs off, you'll see the attacker just pin it into their backhand. It's harder to make a counter from the backhand away from the table. Hugo has so much power, he's confident he can put it away down the other side.
The backhand is back. It started the match strong. Hugo Calderano wins the first two 11, 5, 11, 7. Before a very unforgettable game number 3. Too close for comfort. That would be Hugo's description.
Chiquita, Chiquita.
Talk to me about that for those newer to table tennis. What do you mean?
Ball when the dance likes that. It's like when you play it with the side spin. You can make that ball dance inside the table even when it looks like it's going to the outer side. You play through the fingers because the playing surface is in the way. You just can't get over that awful joke.
I didn't understand anything you just said. 5 serving 8, Dima trying to come back. And that's what he's done. Remember, 4-10 down. Talk about belief. If you can come back from 4-10 down, nearly anything is possible.
Yeah, when are you safe?
Slow and spinny, but he grabs the ball from the back of the table. It's that fine balance of caution yet aggression. Dima getting the best shot he can out of a very uncomfortable ball near the back edge. 1 point game now. This is a big one for Hugo. He was up 8-5. And that would have been the difference to giving the serves back to Dima at 8-all. But still a 2-point cushion for Hugo.
Smart play, just came across the ball. Like he might have faded down the line, but ended up going in more into the middle of Dima. Good shot selection, table awareness.
Set. 7-9.
Big point now, sets up 3 match points for Hugo Calderano, but it only seems like a slim picking in terms of the 8 match points he had in game number 3. Takes his chances, and Dima with a gutsy serve here, going long to the backhand. Surprising serve in this moment.
You have to time that and contact it perfectly. And he's leaving the wide backhand exposed in a sense there. But that's the beauty of serving long, fast backspin.
Yeah, he gave little telegraphing there, little sign of where he was going to go. So Hugo Calderano had to reset himself for the shot. 2 match points left. 9 match points saved. Oh, man. The Pan Americans here. Oh, my goodness. I don't know. It almost sounded like it came off the finger, this last contact. Let's watch one more time here.
I don't think it did. Oh, it might have done.
It looked like it did.
Oh, my.
To hit your finger and win a point to save your, I don't even know, we're on 9, 10 match points. That curtain is going to be there for a reason, to block Bruna's face. She's probably watching just through a peephole in the curtain. Oh, my goodness.
No way.
Wow. This is tough. I mean, Adriana Diaz's face says it all. Teammates from the Pan Am region. And he's earned a game point. I mean, we are witnessing something. If you don't have goosebumps right now, please check your heart rate.
If Dima wins this match, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I might have never seen a comeback better than this, live on a WTT table.
Game point for Dima. Calderano with a smart touch shot, risky, and it works out in his favor. Man, these two players, the hot potato game there. And he gets Dima to play defensively, moving in quickly. Only to tie it up. Deuce, second deuce point this game. A lot of work there for the point. You can feel it. It is another match point. I think this is probably 12, number 12 for Hugo Calderano. Meaning 1 point away from, for the first time, beating Dima Ovtcharov. And he's got the serve to do it. Well, get this man a snack now because he